All right, before I say anything, like, this is completely just my ideas and my thoughts, my thought process, and me as a person. Because honestly, dude, like, just racism just fucking sucks. So this kind of just stemmed out of my own anger, my own like frustration with what's going on, and specifically what's going on in my community, what's going on with the people that I surround myself with, like as a community, as a city, as a county, as a state, as the world I live in, the country, you know, all of it. First, it started off with like, okay, my community, like one of the things I've seen before and in person is that Latinos use the N-word when they're not Afro-Latinos, right? So to me, that was the first issue, right? That was the first thing that came to my head. Like, first, we need to solve this problem. But our parents, you know, the adults that we grew up with, they're a little racist too, right? So we have to fix that too. So then it just becomes all this puzzles of like, I have to fix all these other things. The thing that really just put it all together for me was reading the comments online. Like, I would see questions like, here, I'll read it up. So it says, seeing Latinos bring up the videos of the loteros and the street vendors getting harassed as an excuse to be against the protests and Black Lives Matters just shows their ignorance, hypocrisy, and racism. In my head, I thought like, yeah, anybody would agree, right? But no, the comments on this post were it was just terrible. So it says, a month ago, they were attacking the Mexican race. Now they want us to join them in the riots. Someone asked, in the end, do they have our backs? There's other people saying, those fools been punking the raza for years. 104 likes. So I'm just like, bro, relax.
We got to survive here. For us to survive here, white folks, black folks, Korean folks, Mexican folks, Puerto Ricans, we got to understand each other.
Softest shit I've heard all year. This fool is tripping. We don't claim him. Once all of this is over, they're going to go back to calling us beaners and wetbacks. There's like 1,150 comments in this post itself, and I've seen this on Twitter, I've seen this on Instagram, I've seen this on Reddit, like I've seen it all over, you know. It's just so, guys, I'm just so mad. It's hard for me to talk about this. But first, let me start off by saying this, that Mexicans are like, this is the, and it's so fucking sad. It's so damn sad for me to talk about this to your own raza, you know what I mean? Like, because usually it's other people who are like, oh, you don't look Mexican. Oh, this person doesn't look Mexican. People saying Mexicans, why Mexicans? For the Black Lives Matters movement, right? I personally think, like, I'm assuming from the people that I've read, right? Probably have that thought of what a Mexican looks like. You know, a Mexican looks like someone like me, maybe, you know, you're brown for short. What else? You know, you're brown, you know, like the color of your skin, right? That's the Mexican you see. But let me just remind you guys, Mexicans could come with blue eyes and blonde hair and be 6'5", and then you could have your Mexicans that are, then you have Afro-Latinos, like Afro-Mexicans, you know, who could also be tall and maybe not have blue eyes. And then there's a spectrum right here in the middle, you know, like where it's me, like I'm brown, and there's lighter brown, and there's darker brown, and there's a spectrum. Like at first I was like, wait, why is this an issue? But then I remembered, wait, Mexicans are racist with their own people. Colorism, bro. Mexicans are racist against their own people, and that is an issue that we, as people that are with me, need to fix. We need to fix this as a community. We need to fix it through dialogue. We need to fix this by fixing ourselves, by fixing the words we use. Yes, I'm talking to you that uses the N-word in front of your friends, but never in front of a black person. But then you just say, oh, it's fine because all my friends use. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And then we have to fix the racism with our parents. Like, we have to, it is just not against black people, against everybody. It's against all razas. Like, racism in Latino America, right? Mexicans are racist within themselves, right? We have Mexican racist ideologies within ourselves, within our own community.
¿Cuál muñeco es malo? Este. ¿Y por qué? Porque, bueno, este es moreno y este blanco. ¿Cuál muñeco es malo? ¿Por qué? No sé.
If we're racist against our own black, white, brown, mixed Latinos, we're gonna be racist against the whole entire world. So first you have to keep in mind that we all know that a dark-skinned Mexican versus a light-skinned Mexican are not treated the same way. Some of you just don't. Some of you do. Like, you know, for me it's like Mexicans come in all sorts and sizes and colors, you know, like that's just something I knew, you know. I grew up with Mexican friends who were Asian. I grew up with Mexican friends who were white. Passing. I grew up with Mexicans who were black, half Mexican. It just keeps going. Let's go back to how my community plays a role in this movie, right? How the people who I grew up with can play a role in this community. So my city, Santa Ana, right? So to me, I was just like, dude, like there's no, like I could see how this is happening out there, but I would not tolerate it happening here. Like I can't imagine myself walking outside my city and my community and knowing people are not with supporting each other. Because if you're not supporting Black African Americans, you're in a way not supporting your own people. Because we do have Black Latinos. We do. That's just the truth. You may not see them. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there, right? Just because you don't see the racism happening around your brown community doesn't mean it's not happening.
La magia del racismo y del clasismo en México es que no lo vemos, ni siquiera lo notamos. Y cuando alguien nos lo señala, nos ofendemos y nos enojamos de que nos llamen racistas o clasistas.
So now it was just like, dude, I envisioned Santa Ana to be so different. I envisioned Orange County to be so different. I envision the world to be different. Like, this has to change. Like, I just have to say that. The impact that we need to bring starts with our community, starts with our family, starts with our friends. That's how the impact starts. All right, so now we're going to educate. I'm going to educate, educate, because that's what you need to do, man. It may not be your fault. Like, it's not, you're not born racist. You're not born like, oh my God, this is a person. They're a different color. They're associated with this. You're not born with that. You consume that. Like, you literally consume. And people make you associate things with certain things. It's called conditioning, bro. Look it up. I don't think you guys understand. Let me put my glasses down. We don't understand our own history, our own impact, and the power our voices have. But I'm here to tell you, from me to you, that you have had a voice, you have had an impact, and you can have an impact now. Because this isn't an issue about race anymore, bro. This is an issue about people. It's an issue about human rights. It's an issue. It's not even politics. This is just human decency. We all accept it, right? Can we all get on that? But our Black brothers and sisters are going through it in a very different way today. Yes, we do have our own struggles. As Latinos, we do have our own struggles. But our aid needs to go to someone else right now. I'm going to teach you guys something that your life, that you probably didn't even learn in class. And you probably did, but you probably didn't think it affected it this big, right? Let me blow your mind. So in 1944, the children of Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez were denied entry to a white school in Westminster School District, okay? Westminster, that is 10 minutes that way. I don't know what that way is, but it's 10 minutes over there. The Mendez family joined with 4 other Mexican-American families to file suit against the school district in 1945. These 5 Mexican-American fathers, right, I'll say their names: Tomás Estrada, William Guzman, Gonzalo Mendez, Frank Palomino, and Lorenzo Ramirez. 5. Set out to challenge the practice of school segregation in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. I want you guys to pay attention to this.
The official name of the lawsuit really is Gonzalo and Felicitas Mendez and their children against the Westminster School District, Lorenzo Ramirez and his wife and their children against the El Modena School District, William Estrada and his wife on behalf of their children against the Santa Ana School District, Tomás Estrada, William Guzman and his wife against the Santa Ana School District on their behalf of their children, and Frank Palomino and his wife on behalf of their children against the Guardian.
So, alright, trigger warning. This is kind of sensitive language. I'm against very racist, sensitive language against Mexicans. So, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But let me just tell you this. If this makes you in any way feel, as Mexican, wrong or hurt, just imagine what it's like to live through that for years. I'm not talking 10 years or this year or this week. Think about all that anger within the past few days and escalate that exponentially to years. We're talking hundreds of years here, racists argued, quote, Mexicans are inferior in personal hygiene, ability, and in their economic outlook. He, the superintendent, further stated that their lack of English prevented them from learning Mother Goose rhymes and that they had hygiene deficiencies like lice, impetigo, tuberculosis, and generally dirty hands, neck, face, and ears. These, the superintendent stated, warranted separation. You know, when I read that, I was just like, bro, like how like.
He told Gonzalo, you know what, Gonzalo? I think your case would be, he asked him, he says, is this going on in other school districts that you know? And Gonzalo says, of course. He says, my compadre over in Santa Ana, his kids are going to segregated schools, and I know that the schools in Orange are segregated, and I know that in Garden Grove they're also segregated, and I know that in a few other areas. So David Marcus told Gonzalo, you know what? You need to bring in those other families to make this a stronger case. Then we can do what's called a class action.
You have to start thinking about this. You have to start thinking about this. You have to start criticizing and think about it. Like, and I'm not saying like, oh, like ban all books. What I'm saying is criticize, think, question, and talk. And I think about it. Like, look how many names didn't go announced in this very important case. Like, think about that. Like, think about the names in history that don't go down in history. Think about who writes the history. Stay woke. After a year, Senior Judge Paul John McCormick for the U.S. District Court of Southern District of California ruled that there were no legal grounds for the segregation of Mexican children. 2 months later, stay woke, pay attention. 2 months later, California's Governor Earl Warren signed a bill ending school segregation in California, making it the first state to officially desegregate its public schools. After Mexicans fought segregation in their community in Santa Ana, in Westminster, in Orange County. So, it started here and went to California. Impact. But wait till you hear this. But this is the thing. Earl Warren should ring a bell to you, because he will later become the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States at the time that the court heard the Brown versus Board of Education case. He stayed woke. Brown is the landmark case in which the United States Supreme Court unanimously, meaning everybody agreed, in uniform, unanimously, separate education facilities are inherently unequal and ended segregation in the United States. Is there anything more I need to say? So let me just recap here. For people of Santa Ana, I just want to say that you have a voice that definitely can impact people. We as a dominantly brown community should be supporting Black Lives Matter, because not only does it actually affect us, you know, if we had played our role in the civil rights movement before, we should do it now. There's no doubt. I don't understand like why people just don't want to help people. Like, what I'm finding is people are just literally making up excuses, racial excuses, racist excuses to not help. And it breaks my heart. It genuinely breaks my heart to see it from people of the Latino community, people in my community. The ones that fighted for you, the ones that fighted for your desegregation, they would have fought for this too. But now we how could we come this far to still be like, wait, why should we do it? It doesn't make sense. Like if they did it then, why can't we do it now? And when people brought up the Lotero thing, like yeah, I did see the video. Yes, it did hurt. Yes, it did. Honestly, it hurt. But you have to learn that 2 people does not represent an entire community, entire race. You have to learn that. Can you tell there's a lot of frustration in me? But you know, I just had people like if you look into our city, if you look into our county, if you really look, there's a lot of racist shit going on. There's a lot of racist stuff going on. You guys don't see it. You guys live within the boundaries of a city. Why? Why are you discouraged to go somewhere else? From who? Who discourages it? Why? And the reason why is because we within ourselves are fighting against each other as a community, as a city, as a county. We don't even know. Our leaders, we start questioning. You just have to start questioning. Like, do they stand for what I believe is right? It's not even about politics. It's just about this. If anything, this movement right now, this time right now, has depoliticized anything. Whoever stands against a movement that is symbolically standing for humanity, you're standing against. You're not just racist. You're just inhumane. That's that's just true. Because I generally think you don't grow up racist. You don't grow up stigmatizing other people based on the color of the skin. You don't grow up like that. You're either taught or you're untaught it. Some of us were taught it, but some of us didn't get the chance to unteach it. And that itself is a product of systematic racism. That itself is a product of the educational system failing you. Because why is it that some cities get better educational systems than others? Funds? Because criminalization exists higher in some cities than others? Okay. So where does it exist? In the minority group? Okay. So where are all the prisons? In the minority group? Okay. So who is more susceptible to not getting loans for businesses to grow? Oh, minorities? Oh, where are the lowest loans being present? Like, where are the higher rejection rates being present for people of color? Oh, the minority city? It makes sense, guys. Like, it's a damn cycle. It's a damn cycle, and you're part of it. And you need to wake up. You need to wake up because our education system is fucked up. Our judicial system, our entertainment system, our, businesses, prison, everything, every aspect of your life has been impacted by this. And you may not see it. Do we have a vision for the city? I have a vision for the county. I have a vision for the state. I have a vision for the country. I have a vision for the entire world. But it's going to take a while. But I know for a fact that it's not impossible. For us, we probably just didn't have the role models. We probably weren't taught the role models. I mean, some people don't even know who Cesar Chavez is, bro. Some people don't know what Frida Kahlo's story is at. Some people don't know any more than that. Some people don't know about their own revolution. And that itself, it's part of the educational process. It's part of the systematic racism that we're living in. It's a part of the systematic racism that you're living in. But I just really want I would really want to bring it to light that I really hope you find a way to unlearn your wrongs, to accept the wrongs that you've done, to accept your racist views. But I welcome you to discuss with people, with me, with anybody about this. Like, learn. Like, I think we as a city have a responsibility, being predominantly Hispanic, being a city that does experience struggle, financial, racial, economical, educational, those other things. We do experience those things. But we have a voice that has spoken volumes. We have a voice that has impacted our community. We have a voice that has impacted our state. We have a voice that has impacted the entire fucking country. I definitely do think we didn't come this far to just go one step back. We didn't advance this much in society as a community, as a race, as people, to just fall behind again. And I just want to bring to light to you guys that if we can do it then, we can do it now. That's it. Thanks.
You, the guy, you, the mechanic, wherever, you need to do something. You need to check yourself and see how racist you are. You know what I'm saying? It's real.